Hi, I'm Rob from Hobbsing. Thanks for joining me live here on YouTube for something a little bit different for me, I guess. So, got a cool bag. Sorry, it's not a box, is it? We can all see that. What I've got in here are 4 cans, as you know from the thumbnail, obviously. They're 4 cans of beer from Northern Monk, from my local Asda, notoriously the shittest beer range in the area. It is pretty bad, but I thought, why not give this a go? So I've got the 4 Northern Monk beers. Northern Monk, I'm in Shipley. Sorry, I just realised my hair looks like a fucking mess. I'm in Shipley in West Yorkshire. Northern Monk is in Leeds, which is about a 15-minute train journey from me. One of my most prominent local breweries is Northern Monk. Just click that off. It looks like I'm watching myself. So the 4 beers I've got are, if I get them in the right order, this is the right order that I put it down in, is 2 I've had before, 2 I haven't. That is the Faith in Futures Bobbi Abbey, 6% ABV. I'll leave that one out because I'm having that one first. So I guess that's like is that the supermarket equivalent of like a Patrons project? Probably something like that. Might not go in this order, but this is Beyond, which they call a classic IPA. Yeah, I don't think I'll do this one second because I've had Faith, obviously. I've had those 2. So yeah, actually, yeah, we'll see how it goes. So it's quite classic IPA, kind of West Coast-ish, bit more kind of malt driven, I'd say, than modern day West Coasters. Big old can though on this one. What's that? People would call this tall boy. It's not a fucking tall boy. It's a 500ml can. Is it 500 mils or something, or a pint can? Can't see. Because my lights shining right on the shiny can. There we go. 568. So that's a pint in it. That pint can at 6%. I had that the other week. Actually, I'll put that back in the bag. One what's been knocking around supermarkets for a while. So you've got me vintage Northern Monk t-shirt on, looking a bit creased, fitting slightly tight. I've had it a while. Heathen, which I've always been a fan of Heathen. I think it's a decent beer. 7.2 on that one. That one goes back in the bag. And another one what I've not had, Heathen Club Outlaw. Double Hazy IPA, 8% ABV. Not had that either. So yeah, I'll zip it up the old bag. Let's crack on with this one. This is the Bobbi Abbey. I presume that's an artist. Who's the artist, which is be along the lines of what? Yeah, sure. Because I think I've seen Patrons project with that artist on. I guess it's the supermarket equivalent of a Patrons project. Not had this 6% ABV. Has it got anything mention of the hops in it? Can't see. I can see better in there than I can in real life. I haven't got my readers on. Anyway, that's a spiel on it. I'm not going to read it. Not that interested. So let's get this open into a glass and see if Northern Monk is worse than the supermarket. Do you know what? I'll say this while I'm pouring. When I picked this off the shelves, they actually felt cool to the touch. Don't know if they were sitting under like an air conditioning vent or whatever in my local Asda, but let's find out. I think I'm hesitant over the Beyond because I think that's been in there for a while. But anyway, let's get this open into a glass and see what we've got. Live views and all that business. So, beer in the glass. It's not mega hazy. You I can't see through it, I wouldn't say. But it doesn't look thick in any shape or form. Quite a thin-looking beer, making me very thirsty just looking at it. But it looks like kind of lemon juice in a lot of ways. It's not it's not haze for days. It's not murky for months. It's just kind of, it doesn't look that great. There's a bit of a frothy, sudsy kind of washing up kind of bowl head. So a swirl and sniff. Let's check out the aroma. Okay. It's quite a simple aroma. I'm going to say kiwi, lime, air freshener. No. Lime ice pop, ice lolly kind of thing. There's a fragrant quality to it, but it's very much towards the citrus kind of things. Maybe that's why I said kiwi more than something like apple. But it's quite a simple nose. It's not pouncing out yet, but it smells kind of refreshing. And that's what I need. It said it wasn't going to be hot today. It's still fucking hot, okay? So this feels kind of suitable to quench my thirst. Anyway, let's dive in. Cheers. Might take a couple of swigs before I get into those tasting notes, because I'm pretty thirsty. It's all right, that. I mean, it doesn't feel tired. That's one thing I'm going to say. Maybe let's get that out of the way at the start of each beer. Does it feel tired from being on the supermarket shelf? I don't think it does. It doesn't strike me as beer that's got oodles of kind of hops in it. It strikes a nice balance. It's got a little bit of dry bitterness to it. Kind of pithy, lemon rind, orange pith. Yeah, it's quite dry. Slight cantaloupe melon. But one thing that surprises me when I'm thinking hazy IPA, okay, maybe they've down in the haze. See, I mainly drink Northern Monk kind of Patron's projects and that kind of stuff. That's what we get in the Triangle. And that's where I might mainly drink them. And I don't really bother with the supermarket because I think, well, we'll find out through these. Are they going to feel a bit tired? They were 4 for free as well, so they weren't a bad price, £3 odd each. Especially ones with double IPA, other ones a big pint can. Didn't think it was bad value. But this, I forgot my water. I know, like a fucking pranit. It's over there. I'm not going to get it because I'm a pro, even though I've left my rig just there. Which I never, no, yeah, of course I use it. I'm going to say which I never use. I just don't use my light anymore. Stop doing makeup tutorials, that's why. Yeah. It's kind of that kind of dryness and the slight bitter bite. Kind of like a lemon sherbet. It's quite pleasant. As we do with all these things, it's going to be interesting on the old Untapped. Because this has been probably drunk more than a lot of beers, as all of these will be, because they are supermarket beers. And Dave, if you're watching, the Shelf Turd is not a beer that is on a supermarket. It's a beer that's been left on a shelf, wherever it is. It's sitting there like a turd. If you're there, Dave, that's the definition of shelf turd. This is not a shelf turd unless it's been sat there for fucking months. It's got dust on it. Shelf turd. Anyway, there's a bit of old school beer tuber knowledge dropping on the youngsters. That's the first time Dave's been called youngster in a long time, and I imagine so much doing me a little bit of Googlage. Bobbi. They've done quite a lot as Bobbi. There it is. I'll get that open, and then I'll flick onto the pay share thingy bob. So, Faith in Futures, Bobbi Abbey Hazy IPA. Drink beer, help others. Each one is close. They'll sing a beer. I don't want that. Fuck off. It's just telling you what. That's all the spiel that's on the back. It's a fundraising thing. So what's the overall score? 381. That's not a bad mark for a supermarket beer. That's not miles off of 4, is it? There's a lot of people. I mean, these are all. Is this available anywhere apart from Asda? I don't know. I don't really look into these things all that much. So a lot of people giving them 4s, 4.5s. Which I'm looking for if there's any photos, any interesting names, most importantly, there you go, Asda. Neil Fennick got his from Asda. But most importantly, a Bodline Alco, good name. Tasting notes, strong mango, aromatic, hoppy. Really enjoying this. Then we've got Sam Timms from Sunday. This one was very good. Okay, well, there you go. 4.5 from Sam Timms. A few more pictures, any more comments? That's what we would either see. They're doing that in cans. Apocalypse, that's fucking everywhere, isn't it? Another of my local breweries. I think that might be it for the comments. Oh, Martin Allen. Meh. I don't think it's a meh. I think it's a It's all right. It's all right, this, you tell you. It's all right. There you go, stop streaming. So that is the Northern Monk Faith and Futures Bobbi Abbey 6% ABV Hazy IPA. Let's get on to the next one. He says, forgetting to bring his water over from the kitchen. My arms aren't long enough because it's about 3 meters away. Right, next one. Let's go one what I've had. One what I've had many, many times. And that would be zipping up his cool bag from M&S, because that's what kind of supermarkets I shop in. Go to Asda. It's there. It's fucking like a 4-minute walk. Heathen. I remember when this first came out. It was told Dave Simpson. Dave Simpson was responsible for creation of Heathen. I remember him telling me this thing about pectin was used back then, which is an ingredient that's in apple sauce. I bet it's not used anymore, but some of what they were playing around with at the time, I think, to bring out kind of certain flavors. I've had good cans of this from supermarkets. I've had shocking cans of this from Waitrose in London, no less. That should be the best one, surely. It came out of a fridge and everything. So, Heathen, 7.2. So we're going to play around with ABVs. Next one is 6.2, 6.5, I think. But stylistically different. So I wanted to. That looks like it's got rat piss all over it. So that's always nice. Hope it's not. Could be though, couldn't it? Let's not think about it. Let's not think about these things, isn't it? So Heathen, one of the not original car rangers, but one of the early car rangers that the Northern Monk produced, have a soft spot for this beef. It's a good value. What did I say? 7.2. I mean, that's good value. Less than £4. Appearance-wise, quite similar. It's got that kind of like, it's not murky, is it? It's not haze. It's more haze for days than murky for months. It's not big, juicy boy. It's somewhere before that. The head tighter on this one, more of a tight, fine foam on it. Maybe slightly more hazy, so smell, sniff. Check out the aroma. Not much at all. Don't smell tired, but the aroma's dropped off. I'm getting very faint, kind of spicy orange. Is that a classic Simonism? Spicy orange, spicy blood orange. It's got a certain fragrant quality, but it's also got. So sorry, I'm just getting slightly distracted. I don't think I can put chats on screen on YouTube, but we've got my old mates, Kent Beer Reviews and Jacob Beer commenting, saying fleshy blood orange. Yeah, fleshy blood orange. I'm going to do spicy blood orange then, Jake. Because he says, evening, I haven't had Heathen in ages. Me either. And Craig over at Kent Beer Reviews says, evening, brother. So he's got a slightly kind of spicy orange. I'm sticking with spicy orange. Got a similar kind of shake and vac, fragrant, zippy, sherbety note. And maybe a slight onion note. It smells all right. Once again, muted. It's not going to blow your socks off if you're a bit of a noob. You're not old school. 15 years in a game like this, fucking idiot. I think which I think people who are new to craft beer, you want to be wowed, you want to be really kind of converted and impressed by these things. But I wouldn't say that would get your pulse racing all that much. My hair's, sorry, I'm showing my vanity on this fucking video, aren't I? Wasn't prepared. It's all a bit last minute. I think I'm probably going to regret having a lot of these. As Craig said, a brewer once told me. It's very funny. I can't see it. Yeah, I don't think I can show them on screen like you can on the old StreamYard. Anyway, less flapping me gums. Get some supping some supermarket hazy IPA. Cheers. You can see a step up from the last one. A bit more presence, a bit more body to it. Flavor wise, I'm getting a lot more kind of nectarine. Once again, that spicy orange kind of thing, blood orange. But I mean, it's spicy orange. It's orange, but it's not zippy. It's not zesty. It's not juicy. It's got this kind of certain spicy quality to it. If you smeared some I don't know, fucking some spices or something. Come on, I'm not going to hold you to it. It seems silly to say in the first place, but you know, spicy orange works for me. But that kind of nectarine, definitely nectarine skin specifically. Sucking on peach stone, you know that experience? When you finish your peach, you're sucking on the stone. Once again, doesn't feel tired, but it doesn't feel vibrant. It doesn't seem. It's not zipping around. It's not impressing. It's not grabbing your attention. Is it a good example of Heathen? I think it's a bang average example of Heathen. Probably get this a lot better if you chance upon a fresh batch in your local supermarket, or you get it direct from Northern Monk. Is it bad? No. Is it getting me moving south of the equator? Nah. So let's all have a look on. This will be interesting because this is a big one. They'll have had this on told Untapped for a long time. So let's see what they're saying about Heathen. I'm doing this is the look. This is the kind of like gormless look you'll get if you sit opposite me at work. Less swearing to myself. I swear out loud on here instead because it makes me look clever and intelligent. That's how I see it anyway. Right then, let's get that switcheroo on the old Untapped. So we've got on here then. So 3.9. So a little bit higher rated. Fair play because this is coming from multiple sources. Tesco Extra. Pretty smooth, says Dan does boo. Man does booze. That's a nice aspiration in life. I always think that a man does booze. Then Stephen Fairclough says this is back on good form again and give it a 4 and a little bit. 4 and a little bit. Just a 4 and a bit. Everybody's been quite hot on this. 4s, just under 4s. Fatboy D, that's me. It's not really. Cheeky fuckers. Craft Beer Bar Hamburg. Get a 4. Yeah, I mean, as for like hazy beer in Germany, I'm sure this will be pretty darn hazy and juicy and all that business. Not really. It's not. It's not that prevalent, is it? Really. Looking for some more comments. There we go. Gary Abbey. He's at home. It's all right. Some pine notes, citrus, some caramel notes on the finish. Along with orange. Yeah, that caramel. I think that's quite astute there, Gary. As the most prominent Gary YouTube on BeerTube, it takes a Gary to know a Gary. Journey Juice from Tom Paputi. Good name, Tom Paputi. He's having a walking ale. Journey Juice is having a walk, and he's having a Heathen. Good lad. It's not a can of fucking Strongbow Dark Fruits. Taproom Lambic. Blimey. Is that in Barcelona? Let me just check. No, it's in Madrid. I went to I think a place called Lambic in Barcelona. So there you go, a free 9 for the old Heathen on Untapped. I've got this much now, so I've got to kind of drink this before I can get on the next one. In the comments, Jake said, my middle name is Gary, which I think he's tried to pass that off as fact in the past, which was, I found out, I think, a damn lie. Maybe not. And I'm once again forgetting. It's actually called Gary. Jake Gary Overton. I hope so. Oh, my. I just got a few more comments. And then Craig over at Camp Beer just said geriatric. Then we got my old buddy Caleb from up at Triangle saying sup. All right, lad. Sup in some supermarket beer, mate. But it's all right. It's all right. I should pour out less because I don't leave myself in this situation when I'm just having a bit of a. This is called padding for for you experts out there. If anybody's got any comments about Heathen, I'll fill a bit of dead air while I'm finishing this off. I think it's all right. As I said, I think out of the two, I think the other one's maybe a little bit more drinkable. It's all right. Yeah, I get a bit of supermarket here and there. I mean, because I do feel the crushing weight of the lack of success of this channel used to be a lot more popular. What happened there? I don't know. So you mean a bit of Gary YouTubing, getting on that supermarket ales. I'm not resorting to gimmicky thumbnails yet, Dave. If you see this, mate, you probably won't watch this shit, will you? Got better things to do with your time. But if you want girding faces on thumbnails, you're in the wrong place. I invented the fucking thumbnail. 12 years ago, I invented the beer thumbnail for YouTube. And Craig said from Kent Beer says, Heathen better pre-supermarket. I'm sure it's still good when it's not in the supermarket as well. So, next up, Beyond. What are the more recent? I guess it's Car Range now. It looks like Car Range, doesn't it? So, looks like Car Range, smells like Car Range, sounds like Car Range. Car Range. Don't know why they've gone with this size. Classic IPA, whatever that means. Slightly what's it say? Exploring new world with a journey in front of. So I didn't think this. I didn't realize. I bet this is an old doff of the cap to New World, which was their original beer, which is maybe the night I was given this T-shirt. On the launch night. If it wasn't, it was quite soon after I was given this T-shirt. I went to the launch night of Northern Monk at Sparrow in Bradford, which is now sadly gone. If you want to follow similar people's escapades, go to Bundabus. That's Mark, who was one of the original owners of the Sparrow. That's his now endeavour. I'm going to follow such future endeavours. Go to Bundabus in Manchester, Leeds, Liverpool. Birmingham? Whoa, it's a bit. I think that's what fucking right at the end of my T-shirt. So I'm a classy guy. He's a classy guy. Tremendous guy. Right then. Sup. So yeah, I guess it is. Maybe that's interesting. No, that's Mark. That's Mark Hearn, Craig, by the way. Not Mark. But yeah, Mark Hearn did work at Sparrow as well. So yes, if this is a bit of a doff of the cap, a bit of a salute to the original beer that was produced by Northern Monk, which kind of was a West Coast IPA. Maybe this is an interesting way of saying classic IPA, West Coast IPA. It's not really West Coast IPA because you'll get a bit of criticism because it maybe fell somewhere between the gaps and maybe fell a little bit short of what it could have been at the time. So define its own style potentially in some shape or form. So I guess this is what you end up with, classic IPA. No bad thing. I had this last weekend. Yes, last weekend at Amity's opening of the new brewery kind of night. It won a beer festival. It was a bit of a night opening with and it was a bit of a shit show. And they didn't run out of beer. It was more popular than they expected. But I did drink this because I thought, why not? Because slim pickings, to be honest, at that point. And do you know what? I struggled with it. I found it hard work. And whilst I was drinking it, I definitely was thinking, why have they put this in big cans? So I'm curious to see what my experience will be on this one. So, appearance, yeah. Pretty bright. Not super clear. Slight protein haze, but not haze for days. It's not even got on that level. So tight white head, color-wise, kind of pale copper. Swirl and sniff. Let's check out the aroma. Yeah, it's a funny one. It smells like old IPA, like old West Coast IPA. Right, it's when I was like Craig and Jake, we were. I'm just gonna start sipping anyway. So and I need to lubricate the gears, if you know what I mean. I suck from the top at can, so it's not a cheat. And when we got West Coast IPAs from like Stone and stuff, and Dogfish and Ballast Point and stuff, they were just about in Best Buy dates. So there were a lot of beer being made. What was in the impression that was maybe West Coast, but it was based on what people's experiences of West Coast were, and which was actually quite tired beer. And then you go to California and you drink loads of beer. Oh, I mentioned it before. It's 11 years ago. Crying shame. We should go more often. We should go again. What you get there is a whole different ballgame. Definitely back then, which was a true expression of old school West Coast IPA. Just moving into certain new territories. West Coast IPA these days, whole different kettle of fish. So I think it's a good idea not to call this a West Coast IPA because you've got a weird expectation that you're playing around with. I mean, if it's not what people are expecting as a West Coast, especially nowadays, which is quite a bit more juicy, clarity and different kind of malt character. This is classic, whatever it is, classic British brewed West Coast-ish style IPA. So let's have a swig. What's my things? Well, anyway, let's dive in. Cheers. That's it. That's what I do, isn't it? I remember now. It's like riding a bike with no seat. Yeah, it's a funny one. It's a funny one. What is this? Is it West Coast? Yeah, I think you could say go down that route. What I've just been fucking banging on about. This kind of concept of it being this kind of old, tired West Coast. It is in a certain way a bit like a cask IPA. Go back 10, 15 years. Cask IPA, whatever that was at the time, on cask. This has got a lot of things that kind of prompt memories. Drinking Brody's IPA in York Tap. Things like that, which cask doesn't really suit IPAs. Definitely doesn't suit beer of this ABV and kind of style. I think you need a bit more zip. I think it lacks that zip. Maybe that's where it's reminding me of kind of cask IPA. It's not very carbonated, quite a low carb on it. And the flavors are slightly earthy, quite lemon, orange peel, but it's not got that zip and life to it. A bit tired. The base ingredient, I mean, not the beer itself, the kind of that slightly tired orange peel, not zippy and vibrant and full of life. It's got a old school British tang. Give me this blind, Abbey. Maybe heading right. I know it's probably like Cascade and Columbus and Centennial or something like that. So we got a message from somebody called Kermit. It said Lord Heathen, it's okay. All right, okay. I don't think I've had that this year. It's just a bit. It could have been if you get he's telling me. I said it's probably like Cascade and Chinook and stuff like that. Give me this blind. I'd be maybe edging towards quite British hops, Challenger, maybe North Down, slightly EKG, kind of a bit East Kent Goldings, something earthy and a bit. Maybe we're so used to everything tasting of Citra and Mosaic, Mosaic etc. And it's that, which is, I know Simon on Real Ale Craft Beer been critical of a lot of supermarket releases. I said these two are Heathen, Beyond. I don't class them as supermarket beer, so that's core range. The Bobbi is definitely a supermarket beer. He's criticised them, been a bit, everything's a bit similar, a bit samey, and a bit, and I think I drink a load of Hazy IPA from all the you preferred British breweries, Track, Verdant, Daya, Asvex, Beak, all the good ones. And it does seem sometimes it's quite hard to pick out what's different. Everything kind of becomes, it's like taking my analogy is you take all when you're at school and you mix all, you get your palette when you're doing a bit of painting, and you put a bit of every colour in it, and it come out a bit kind of purpley and brownish. It's like a mix of if the West Ham kit went together, and it all just went a bit, and so there's no specific characteristics, which in itself is a little bit dull, isn't it? That, I mean, as tasty as all these beers are, and I fucking love them, and I spent so stupid amount of money on these beers, but it's when something lacks distinctive personality, does it then become a little bit redundant, I guess, for the average drinker, definitely. I mean, for fucking everybody, to be honest. Even though I love it, it's my favourite thing. It becomes a little bit. Why? I mean, that's, I guess when I got into beer, it was the variety and the different styles and all that business. That's what got my juices jangling. Nowadays, I'm not that guy. I'm drinking a lot of fucking Hazy IPA. Drinkability and stuff like that maybe is more key to me as a drinker these days. So a beer like this, back in the day, I've got this weird memory of buying beers from Beer Ritz and specifically buying beers from not Adnams, St Austell, other side of South Coast, and then beers like Admiral's Ale and Proper Job and all those kind of beers, and which was distinctively pokey and British, and this kind of takes me back to memories of that, because this is one thing I'm going to touch on while I'm swigging this. People's perception of what was good and what is good, and in comparing things to your mind, it's not relevant unless you've got a time machine and you can take this back to 2012 and get a bottle of Admiral's Ale or something and have a can of this, and times change and expectations change, so it's irrelevant. What was good then, and what's good now is good now. And comparing the mythology in your brain is completely redundant. Anybody who's thinking, "Oh, it's not as good as it used to be," no, it's not relevant. Is what's in front of you enjoyable? That's the thing. Anything else, it's not even worth thinking about, because you can't take yourself back to that moment, because that moment will never exist again. how you were feeling, how you were tasting stuff, what you'd had to eat earlier that day, if you're tired, if whatever. I mean, how hot. I'm pretty fucking hot right now. Probably a little bit tired. Had quite a big dinner. There's loads of factors, and people overlook these things when they think about beer. You've got to be objective about these things. And you can never say, I mean, it's like people like Jaipur and stuff like that. Not as good as it used to be. I mean, my memories of Jaipur are from the Grove in Huddersfield. First time I had it, it was fucking terrible. But then I've got really fond memories because the chap who owned the Grove would also go and pick up specific casks that had been dry hopped. So they were special. Maybe, yeah, and they stood out and they were different and they were better. So therefore, in my mind, they were really good. They were really prominent versions. But then people will go, "Oh, it's not as good as it used to be. It's not as good as it was about 10 years ago." Well, you'll never fucking know. So just get over it. Right, rant over. Philosophical beer chat. There you go. That's beer chew. Me reflecting on being an old cunt on YouTube. So, am I going to get done for using the C word? No, you can't do. They don't do that, do they? Right then. Beyond. See what we've got here. So, let's get this open on the old screen share. It's got a 382. Interesting. What's it say? From a cellar of Bradford in a drink. Oh, it's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. Right. I mean, let me just dispel this myth about Northern Monk. It didn't start. I mean, I've known Russ from the start. I've known Brian, who's now head brewer. I knew Dave, the original head brewer. He was a good mate of mine. As Brian and Russell are. But this is Northern Monk creating their own folklore. What I hate about it is just it's so. I mean, I know you create mythology and you create some kind of people can kind of buy into it. I get it. It's brand building. I understand it, and I know somebody like Russ is very understandable. He completely gets this kind of stuff, and that's why he does it. So it gives you something to fucking hold on to. But for me, it smacks of kind of bullshit that Brewdog used to do. Two men in a homebrew kit and a dog and all this kind of like bullshit what Brewdog used to bang on about. No. Northern Monk started. I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's not my business. But Russ had got a bit of money. I think his auntie had died. He had a bit of money. I think he put a bit of money when he'd been working. I think he were a buyer or some kind of advisory role. I think at Marks and Spencer's or some kind of big chain. I mean, he clearly wanted to get in the beer business. My mate Dave Bishop, the original brewer at Northern Monk, he was a prominent home brewer, doing some really good stuff, won a couple of competitions. Good dude. And they kind of like got together and they started brewing on license, primarily at, I think the first batch of New World was, and which no, I think I threw away the bottle. That'd be a weird thing to keep hold of, wouldn't it? Who'd have thunk it? But anyway, I think that was brewed at Hambleton's over in York. For fucking months, they were trying to make this business, make this beer, try and get something up and running, and they just. I know you're not even looking at me, but you're looking at a thing page. I'm just going to put me back on because you're beautiful, tired face. Oh, my mate, Gav is tuning. See, Gav, you'll know this stuff. So Northern Monk started brewing at Hambleton's in York, who do like Nightmare and all these kind of beers. You find supermarkets. I knew there were a lot. I remember at the time, a lot of problems about getting them to understand that they didn't quite grasp the concept of where craft beer was going, because they made real ale. And there was stuff like dry hopping and stuff like that, which is a very old technique, but at the same time, it is new to a lot of traditional brewers. So they were rushing beers through and taking it off, stopping fermentation before it was fully done, and they caused a lot of problems. And then they went over and And they started brewing at All Gates and a few other places. I think they brewed at Bad Seed. A few bunch of like local breweries, the Cuckoo Brewing before they got their own kit at the old Flagstar. And then in the interim, Dave, the brewer, he was having some personal problems, and he stepped away. And then Brian, who I know from years ago, Brian was working at the Grove in Huddersfield, which I mentioned earlier. I'm not talking about Jaipur. Let's up a bit more of this beer. So Brian was working there, a bit of a beer geek, I think his parents, I know definitely one of his parents, but I think his parents met working at Tennent's, so he's got a brewing background. It's in the family, it's in his blood. But I mean, a student of the game in a lot of ways. I mean, he was a fucking beer geek before he was a brewer and a head brewer and blah blah blah. So he was invested, and he was doing an apprenticeship at Gads down in Kent. My old mate Craig's neck of the woods. And Brian were doing a couple of beers with Gads, and he did this one called Bitches Brew, which was a modern IPA, but it was brewed with all locally grown East Kent Goldings. And I remember trying it on a twist up, a big gathering. People met on Twitter, who'd met on Twitter in Macclesfield, and it was really good. It was really good. Brian was still a young man at the time. Anyway, Dave left, and then I guess just something happened. Brian, probably Russ knew Brian. Brian was a bit of a person. I mean, beer scene was smaller then. And I think Brian they probably got together and kind of became friends, and the rest is history. And they've gone on to be what they are. But that old mythology about Northern Monk, it's inaccurate, shall we say? But it's painting a picture, which then becomes a nice hook for a business. Because what I've said is not as appealing as saying, "Oh, blah blah," it's not as comfortable as being in someone's cellar, is it? I mean, home rig. So from what I don't think that Brian and Russ have done any home brewing. Don't think they have. Russ and Dave probably did. Dave borrowed my kit forever. Brian was my brewing assistant on home brew day, so that's another story. But yeah, so there you go. There's your real history. Anyway. But yeah, so Gavin said, Northern Monk's answer to Stone IPA. Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, Sam said, g'day, Mark. G'day, all. It's my best Australian accent. Anyway, let's get back to the bit of meander there on that one. Let's go beyond. So here we are, beyond. I just want to address that situation. Oh, so the can edition. They've got exactly the same rating. That's fascinating. Even though the cans at so many, got 1,600 over 1,600 review ratings, and then the kegs only got 313 reviews. Same rating. That's interesting, isn't it? 50 IBUs. Maybe it should be higher. Anyway, let's see what they're saying about it here. If you want to buy a motorhome, 4,900. I love a pop up on eBay. And what have I done? I've never gone on eBay. So we've got gas cylinders, a weird motorbike, and some RVs. So we didn't like it from Sainsbury's. Don't buy it from Sainsbury's, kids. You're gonna get 3. Mateus found that to his detriment. Learn from others' mistakes. A supermarket IPA. It says Stuart Robertson. He says supermarket IPA rather good. Absolute. A supermarket IPA, that's rather good. Absolute shocker, but true. Okay. I know what you mean. Alan Bruce says old school IPA goodness. Yeah, I think that's more pint can editions, please. I think that's a murky waters. Let's not get into that. I don't know enough. I got much of an opinion on that, to be honest, but I'm sure a lot of people will. I haven't give a toss. It's a bit fucking Dr. Jabs. Andy Price says has a sharp, refreshing taste, which I like from an IPA. It's pretty strong, 6.5, and the taste does show it. But overall, a decent tipple. I think that's a rational response and a good rating. Andy Pierce. I want to be Andy Pierce's friend. He sounds like he takes a nice photograph as well. Let's look at Andy Pierce's photograph. He's got a bit. I thought he had a bit of depth of field play around, but he's just doing what I do and blur the background like a cheetah. I know your tricks. Any more comments? Got tells the company shop no less. We don't buy it from there free. Not a good place to buy it. Delicious Hazy IPA. You're wrong, Simon Barrett. It's not. It's not, is it? Asda. Come on, give us some more juicy comments. That's what we're here for. Nope, we're not getting it. So there we go. But there you go. So you had a nice little. I'm just looking it over. Craig from Kent Beer Review says, I've got an interview with Brian from a couple of years at Gasbury. You do. Don't fucking advertise your stuff on my stream, mate. Get this one quaffed. And then we're on to another one. But yeah, there you go. Added extra. You got slight rant, not rant. Dispel Myth Bunstein. Take that one. Another monk said they were made in a cellar. Another one. It was a boring business thing over a series of months, like most things are. I mean, that's what it is, isn't it? I know it's not appealing, but you know what? I care about this truth. If you can't handle the truth, it's your problem. All right. Dip it into the bag again. The last one. This sounds an interesting one, doesn't it? A double IPA. No less. Not had this one before. Heathen Club Outlaw. Weird name. Is Heathen Club like a weird sub-brand, which no one knows about apart from the people who work at the brewery? And this particular one is called Outlaw. Dangerous beer. Double Hazy IPA at 8% ABV. Is there anything on the back? They never tell you the hops or anything on these. There you go. A big double IPA with free riding gang of hops. A little bit cheesy. It is what it is. It's a supermarket beer. Get over yourselves. I've just been exposed by Lee W, another local lad. It says, love the Turk's Head glass. Rob did that fall into your bag. Don't know what you're talking about, mate. I've taken care of it better than anybody in there would have done. It's been in my possession for many years now. But yes, I'm going to get banned out. I'm not going to Turk's Head like it used to. It used to be really good, as did Leeds. But Leeds isn't as good as it used to be either. It used to be a mecca for great bearded Leeds. Now, not so much. So beer and glass. Once again, I'm expecting a bit more haze, but then is it? I mean, you got to count those beans, ain't you, in the old supermarket beer brewing business? There's wheat and oats, yeah, and probably a bit. Maybe it's yield. Maybe that's the deciding factor that you and. If you're going to put a load of wheats and oat and shit like that, you get a load of trub and all that kind of bollocks. So therefore, you lose volume, and volume is key because your pricing will be fucking dragged down by the cheap ass bastards at the corporate scumbags of Asda. But so I get it. I'm not expecting it to taste like track, but it's supermarket IPA and it's probably less than £4. So. I mean, I'll probably late this week. I ain't buying double IPAs this week, but if I don't buy any this week, maybe next week. And I'm sure they will be upwards of £6. So you can't complain too much, unless this is absolute dog shit. So let's get swellers. Therefore, let's check out the aroma. We know that old school. Let us zip out this little fella down here. Oh, you see that? That's what we used to do back in the day. That was the old beer tuber swell. Go back to Chris Stelton. This is like weird ASMR with Fat Man's middle-aged tits. Pay more for that. That's on the fucking Patreon bit, mate. Anyway, that's what you used to do back in the day. The Big Eat Nation swell. Aggressive swell. I think that's got a little bit more aroma than everything else tonight. But thanks for noticing, Lee. My I've not nicked many glasses in my time, I'll tell you that. I nicked a all right, Jimmy C. I nicked a Goose Island glass from somewhere in Leeds. Maybe it was the Cross Keys back in the day. And I then broke the glass, which was full of a Bacon Night Stalker, which was a combination of a pre-barrel aged, which I've never seen it ever again. I haven't done it for brewed ever again. It was a pre-barrel aged Birmingham Stout. It's 10% hopped up Imperial Stout. I had this big fucking Goose Island glass, and I was pouncing around, and I fucking dropped my beer, which was pretty much full, smashed my glass, lost that bottle of beer, which I bought from fucking London. I was absolutely good. Probably £12 was a big bottle back in the day. Nowadays it'd be 35 quid on some online shop. But yeah, it smells all right. It takes me back to this. Once upon a time, sat in Northern Monks Refectory with Russ, and I think Gav actually, who, if he's still on, and Matt. I don't know if Matt. I presume Matt's still there, in whatever role he's doing. And I remember being a Northern Monk beer, and I said, "It smells like a freshly opened tin of baked beans." And Russ just looked at me like, "Not sure I'm supposed to take that." A bit like, I was a bit pissed. I'd be like, I didn't mean it in a bad way. I just mean in a matter-of-fact way. It just smelled a bit like a freshly opened tin of baked beans. I'm going to hula hoop. I'm going to go freshly opened tin of spaghetti hoops. It's got a bit of that. It's not quite butyric acid. It's got a sweetness. It's got a weird, funky sweetness. It's not bad, though. It's a little bit potpourri. If you know, a bit potpourri, a bit potpourri, a bit of smelly bark. Alphabet spaghetti, as Gavin says. Absolutely, that's the next one. I don't know, just you know that sweetness you get from the sauce of, I mean, those type of things, baked beans, alphabet spaghetti, spaghetti hoops. That sweetness you get in that sweetness you get in those sauces, really takes me there. There is a peach note. There is some. There's a real through note of these beers, which is it's kind of fragrant, and slightly spritzy, and slightly sherbet-like, but faint at the same time. It's not like it's not getting right with your nostrils. It's just there. It doesn't smell bad. For like a sub 4%, £4 kind of double IPA. I mean, I am the Gary YouTube, so of Beer Tube. So I just want to make it clear that this is all about the views. Nobody's going to watch this for an hour anyway. That's how you make money on YouTube these days, isn't it? Son of a bitch. It smells all right. It's just, once again, it's a bit muted, but okay, these are supermarket beers, and I know they're never going to be that great. But that's the point of this experiment. This is the local brewery. I can grab 4 cans of beer, which has come straight from the brewery, and they'll be in tip-top nick. But who's got any interest in that? Nobody. But sadly, people have got interested in supermarket beers, and that's one of those things, isn't it? It's just one of those things. Supermarket beers. It's readily available. There's a bigger audience. I'm a Gary YouTube. I'm feeling insecure about my place in the world. I want more views. I'm going to do shit like this. That's how we're doing it in the Gary YouTube business. Anyway, let's dive in. Cheers. Sometimes I surprise myself how much I can talk just to myself. Great conversation, though. He's always a great listener. Never contradicts anything I say. Handsome. Sexual magnetism between two of us is just shocking. Anyway. Right. It's all right. It's a funny one. This is this necessary? Do we need double IPAs in the supermarkets? No, because this is not what double IPA tastes like. Okay, it's less than £4. Yeah, okay, you get what you pay for. You're gonna pay £8-9 for a big old fucking ramped up track double IPA, which will get you right all fucking business time down there. I tell you, absolutely, no doubt about it. They're doing the business. I've got a track beer. I don't think I'm gonna open it. I'm not gonna finish these, to be honest. But I might do. What time is it? It's not even 9 o'clock. Yeah, I probably will do. But it is what it is. Right. Okay. Let's get down to tasting notes because that's what I'm supposedly do. I'm going watery peach. It's got a bit of a orange lolly stick. When you finish a lot orange lolly, that little, you suck it on the stick. Suck it on the stick. That's what I said. Don't put words in my mouth. Slightly bitter, slightly marmalade-y, but it lacks vibrancy. Yeah, if I had a track double IPA and I went and grabbed that now, it'd be like, this is not even same. This is not even fair. You're bringing a knife to a gunfight, aren't you? I mean, it's just not. It's not even fair. It's not even the same. Do we need a double IPA in a supermarket? Probably not. Do you know what I drank last week? Because it was fucking boiling last weekend. Watching a bit of Glastonbury on telly. I picked up a 6-pack of Budvar. In my mind, I didn't like Budvar. But last weekend, cold fucking little cans of Budvar. Also, it's right thing, right time, right place. It's that type situation. Because what are people going in there for? I don't think people need a 8% beer from a supermarket. It's a specialist thing, so it should be the best. It should be good shit. I know I said it's not that expensive, but it's still. People are going to buy this because it's strong, but it doesn't taste strong, which is kind of good if that's what you're buying beer for, because it's strong and it's going to fuck you up. You're going to wake up on the sofa. I'm going to play some EAFC and fall asleep and stuff. I'm not really going to do part of that. You pick which one. And I just don't think it's necessary. I don't think we need this beer in the supermarkets. People don't want strong beer. I think people want beer for purpose, for finishing your day of work, having a beer. For it being a hot day, you're out in the garden, you're sweaty, you've done whatever, you come back in from been somewhere, you want a cold one. That's what supermarket beer is for. I mean, I picked up once again a bit of Gary YouTube, and I mean, I'm a dirty dog. I got a Stiegel Hellers, so like a lager on a hot day. That's interesting. I will get to that in a minute. I've got some comments. I will get to them in a minute. I just don't think we need this in the supermarket. And I mean, flavor wise, it's fucking really, really, really. It's 5.5. It's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't need to exist. There we go. Anyway, before I get onto the Untapped for this, which will be curious, and because it's two audiences, isn't it? The Untapped audience and the supermarket audience, I think, quite different. So we've got Jimmy C all the way over in Finland saying, "Are we fleshy blood orange in it tonight?" No, I went spicy orange, mate. And then he says, "Sometimes talk and agree with myself, and I have a few shots. When I've had a few shots of vodka, yeah, nothing wrong with that. Look in the mirror and say, yeah, you're right, lad." And then Gavin says, which band did Budvar pair best with? See, I had some on Saturday night after I got in from Amity, so we had a bit more headlinery. And then I watched a few on Sunday afternoon. Didn't pair well with Rod Stewart, but I don't think anything pairs well with Rod Stewart because just no. I think I were on. What was she called? She was Saturday night, same time as Neil Young, being boring as sin. I mean, I like a bit of Neil Young, but you got to be a fan to want that amount of Neil Young. You should have been banging out the greatest hits, and he won Murray really. Well, you want Old Man and fucking Neil and Damage Done and Harvest Moon and shit like that. That's what you want. You want him fucking pissing around. But so there was this younger woman, hip hop act, quite a good bit of staging. They were like school desks out, and there were a DJ, and then she was like housed in like a big boombox. Becky did have a slight go at me because not Olivia Rodrigo. See, the guy's saying Olivia Rodriguez, but I just didn't. I turned it on and turned it off because I'm like, I feel like a dirty old man watching this, and I'm not even that interested in that sense. And I was like, I don't know any of this music, and it's just not. It's not doing it for me. So I'm not going to go. I'm going to say no, but then she's a bit more exciting. So Libertines maybe on Sunday afternoon might be a good match for a good combination because they'll fucking bang them away, won't they? Ropey fucking alcoholic that he is. He'd be banging away the 6 packs of Budvar. But yeah, I've got one left. I might do a video of it because I enjoyed them. It's well made beer, and it's made there in Czech Republic and stuff. So it's better than I expected it to be. I mean, decent beer. I mean, fucking average beer, but cold enough. Time and place in it. I've got a Mr. Rag, Billy Rag, rocking up, seeing if I'm up to a bit of Gary YouTubing. It's good to see you at Nottingham Beer Festival, Rob, and your good lady. Yes, it was really good, wasn't it? It was nice to see you as well, Raggy. It was nice to have a couple of chats as we meandered around the festival. It's a great festival. It's always fun. You always think, oh, maybe do something next year. Then it's like, actually, I really like Nottingham. I like Nottingham as a place. It's a nice city. We don't go very often, once, twice a year. It's a fun place. We've got ADC saying, oh, you're Raggy. And he's saying evening all. So there we go. Right then. Let's go on the old Untapped and see what the unwashed masses say about this. And I mean that in the best possible way. Right then. I'm slightly feeling that I've not had that much, but then I didn't sleep that well last night. Right then. What's this bugger called? Heathen Club. It's like a 1980s video game. Arcade machine. Heathen Club. Right then, let me just there we go. Oh, there's a hazy pale as well on cask. There it is. There's the bugger. Right then, let's switch over to, for the last time, to Untapped, live Untapped in your face, all over your face. Got 388. So, what's the most highest rated? I think Heathen is actually the most highest rated. That's a bit meh, isn't it? The spiel. No spiel on this one. Edward Coxhead. If that's not your name, God love you. Edward Coxhead. Excuse me. Edward Coxhead's name made me cough. So we've got Simon Blatcher. Says tropical fruity hazy. Lovely. But you didn't even get a 4. I think I'd say tired. unnecessary. Yeah, that's what I say. Then we've got Matt Gibson saying double IPA direct from brewery with supermarché overtones. That's fun. I like it. That's what we're after. Ashley Moyle, yeah. Full and hoppy, strong beer, but surprisingly light, pleasant hoppy taste. The beer does get heavier in the stomach the more you drink it, though. 2. Ooh, actually, he's a. Well, I say he might not be. Harsh critic. I think these ratings are fair. They're up and down. They're 4s and 3s. I think it could be divisive. I said unnecessary beer for me. Oh, they do it at Tesco as well. Whatever. I don't go in Tesco's because I don't live near one. Yeah, a 5. Ooh, Lee Thompson. Give it a 5. Asda. Lloyd Phillips says Snow Patrol. Megan, not heard of these. Bit of an old man band, aren't they? I'm an old man. Yeah, I was drinking Budvar. I'm loving it. I'm a Budvar guy. I'm going to get a fucking tattoo. On my arse. I was going to say something else and I edited myself. Nick Beck says, light but hazy pour. Tropical grassy aroma. Good mouthfeel of tropic fruit and hops. Interesting. Nick, I'm going to say, you don't need to put hops in there because the tropical fruits flavors are from the hops. I mean, just passing on knowledge from the old school to the new school. 4 beers deep, good name. He says 8% supermarket double IPA, tropical IPA, fairly easygoing for ABV, strong but not undrinkable. Way too grassy for my. I'm not getting that grassy thing. Quite hoppy. I'm thinking. I'm gonna have a seminar with all these people. The use of the word hoppy, quite hoppy, but not too bad hazy. Don't make any sense. But not enough juice. Okay for supermarket, but needs more juice. I know he's getting it, but he's put it badly. So there you go. I like to come back on a burp. That's the game I play. So right, it's gonna got last couple of comments before I fuck off. I've been on there for an hour. People who tune into this, I really appreciate you watching this live, and anybody who's watching after the fact, comment. Give me some comments. You've been in supermarkets. That's where you're watching this Gary YouTube bullshit. So get on. Tell me what you think of these beers. You've sat through watching my stupid face, spouting my fucking stupid opinions for an hour. You haven't, have you? Some people might do. God bless you if you do. Give me your opinions on each of these beers. Any of them. Pick 1, pick 2, do all 4. Go for gold. Give me a bit of feedback because it's interesting. I'm obviously a mindset. Experience, you're on a different one. So here we go. So last comment, we've got Matt Jones. He says, hey up, mate. Hope you're all good, matey. Did you see Simo and his £25 beer today? Would you pay that much? I think I picked the right the choice of the tone for the comment. I don't know what beer was it. I'm going to have to look now if what Simo spent £25 on them, but it's probably a good reason. Yeah, it's choice, isn't it? You can buy mediocre shit from supermarkets, or you can go online, you can go up the road, you can go to your nearest city, you can get something better for admittedly 30, 40, 50 % more. But that's a decision that you make. If you want to pay £25 for a beer and it knocks your fucking socks off, well, isn't that worth every penny? If you're going to buy a can of this for £3.85, drink it, be disappointed. Who's the one who's got the value for money? The person who enjoyed £25 or the person who was disappointed by £3.85? It's all money in it. It depends how much you've got. It depends how much disposable income you've got. I guess that's the point of this whole thing. The availability is there. Decision is yours. Interesting setup. Which do I think is the best? I'm not going to say because I've drunk four different beers and I think I'd make a poor decision. I kind of hesitate to say maybe that, but on its day, Heathen potentially would be a better beer. Unnecessary. Not sure who that's for. Men who like a fucking pint of beer. 6%. Oh, right, I'll get a fucking pint. Oh. That's who that's for. Men who like beer that tastes like beer. People like that. But it is what it is. All sorts of courses, different opinions, different beers, different YouTubers. All that. It's all good. It's all good fun. Thanks for joining me. I'm Rob from Hopzane. And I'll see you in another bloody beer review. I'll see you next time.